Hello, welcome back to Mrs. Torres's YouTube channel. Today, we are going to still be talking about the Pythagorean Theorem, but we're going to be talking about the application of the formula. So that means, basically, we're going to do some word problems, draw some pictures, and use the Pythagorean Theorem from there. Alright, so the first one in our packet here, it says you were locked out of your house, and the only open window is on the second floor, 25 feet above the ground. You need to borrow a ladder from one of your neighbors. There's a bush along the edge of the house, so you'll have to place the ladder 10 feet from the house. What length of ladder do you need to reach the window? So let's draw a picture. We've got a house here. Nice house. We need to get into this window up here. That's 25 feet above the ground. So here we got 25 feet. We've got a ladder at the bottom, or not a ladder, sorry, a bush at the bottom here. That's 10 feet from, let me redraw that. So a bush there, that's 10 feet. And then we need our ladder to go here. So here's our ladder. And we're trying to figure out how big of a ladder we need. First of all, the house and the ground make a 90-degree angle, which means our ladder is our hypotenuse. So we can just plug in our values. 25 squared plus 10 squared equals our ladder squared. I'm just going to call that C because it's our hypotenuse. And then we do some math. So 25 squared will give us 625 plus 100 equals C squared. And then we'll get C squared equals 725. And of course, our last step is to take the square root of 725. 26.9 feet. Now, am I going to go over to my neighbor's house and say, hey, do you have a ladder that's 26.9 feet? No, I'm probably going to say, do you have a ladder that's 27 feet, right? Ladders are usually in full feet there. All right, the second one, we've also got another ladder. This time, there's a building with a 12-foot high window. So our window's up here, 12 feet. We want to use a ladder to go up against the window, and we decide that it's going to be 5 feet away from the building to have a good slant. How long will the ladder be? So again, the building and the ground make our 90-degree angles, so we're looking for our ladder, which is our hypotenuse again. Same problem, different numbers. 12 squared plus 5 squared equals C squared. If we solve that, I'll go ahead and pause it and solve it yourself. Welcome back. You should get C equals 13 feet. So there we need a 13-foot ladder. For some of these, I'm going to skip the solving part since you're already good on the solving part. I'm just going to make sure you know how to set up your picture and the equation. I'm confident in your solving skills from there. All right, next we've got a baseball field. So here's home plate, first base, second base, third base. So we've got a ground ball at first base, and you see the other team's player running towards third base. How far do you have to throw the ball to get it from first base to third base? So we're going here to here. At all of our bases here, we have right angles. So if you look at this triangle here, we have a right triangle with 90 feet and 90 feet. How far would you have to throw it? That's just our hypotenuse. So 90 squared plus 90 squared equals C squared. Go ahead and pause it. Welcome back. Once you solve it, you should get C equals 127.3 feet. So that's how far he would need to throw it from first base to third base to get out the runner. All right. Number 4, on a baseball diamond, the bases are 48 feet 90 feet apart. We know that. That's just this drawing up here. What's the distance from home to second? So now instead of going to first to third, we're going from home to second. And we're looking at this triangle. It's the same triangle, right? No matter which way you split it, you're still going to have a right triangle with legs that are 90. So this would just still be 127.3 feet. All right, flip it on over. Next, we've got the Pythagorean Theorem in the coordinate plane. So it's going to be really important to know how to graph points. So a triangle has vertices negative, 1, 0, 4, 0, and 4, 6. Remember when you plot points, it's x, comma, y. So the first one is left and right, and the second letter is up and down. So I graph them over here. Negative 1, 0, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, and then 4, 6, and we'll just connect our vertices here. And notice that we created a right angle there. And what are the lengths of all the sides? We can just count for the vertical and horizontal sides. So from negative 1 to 4, it would be 5 units. So 5 units is one of our sides. For the vertical side, we would just count again, and we would get 6 units. And then the diagonal, that's just our hypotenuse. 5 squared plus 6 squared equals c squared. Go ahead and pause it and solve for c. You will get about 7.8. So 7.8 units. So those are the length of my 3 sides. Number 6, I'm going to skip. Let's look at number 7. Number 7, you are just using the Pythagorean theorem. You just need to remember a few algebra rules. So we're trying to find the length of A and B. What they mean is you're finding the length of the 2 sides. Here's your right angle. So we've got A squared plus B squared equals C squared. We know that 24 is our hypotenuse. It's across from our right angle. So we've got 24 squared over here. Now, what are my legs? My first leg is x, so we need x squared. Our second leg is 3x. So let's think about this over here. So 3x is my side. I need that whole thing squared. A lot of us would have tendency to write 3x squared. But that is just squaring the x and not the 3. So that's not what we want. We want 3x squared. Now, if you remember your algebra rules, really what that means is 3x times 3x. And then we just multiply. 3 times 3 gives you 9. X times x gives you x squared. So we've got x squared plus 9x squared equals 24 squared. Let's combine our like terms. We'll get 10x squared equals 24 squared will give you 576. And then we just divide by 10. X squared equals 57.6. And of course, square root would be our last step there. And you'll get approximately 7.6. So x is 7.6. Then to find our 2 sides, well, one side is just x. That's pretty convenient. Our other side is 3 times x. So 3 times 7.6, you'll get 22.8 feet. All right, the last one I want to show you is number 9.